everybody, and welcome back to Allison Bakes Your Day. This week I am baking my friend Truett's day. Her favorite flavors that she gave me were dark chocolate and raspberry. So I am modifying a Mary. Ooh, Mary is rarey. She's quite rare. She's unique. She's a unique individual. I am making a modified Mary berry recipe. Today we are making a chocolate raspberry mousse cake. Eee, I know it sounds so exciting, right? Mary Berry's recipe is just a chocolate mousse cake. So it's a chocolate cake with a layer of chocolate mousse on top. Today we are going to make a chocolate raspberry mousse cake. So the base will be a chocolate cake. We're going to make a raspberry mousse. So I get to work with gelatin for the first time today. This is powdered gelatin, not the gelatin sheets. Those frighten me a little bit. We'll do that some other time, but it was quite a journey to find powdered gelatin today anyway, so not looking forward to finding sheets at any point, but we'll see. We'll just order them online. You know that. That's how we do these days, right? All right, so here's all the ingredients that we're going to be using today. Seems pretty minimalist, actually. Here we go. First things first, we're going to start with the raspberry mousse. You need 2 cups of raspberry. A cup of raspberries is 6 ounces, so these come in 6-ounce packages. It's 1 cup each. So we're gonna throw some raspberries on the table. Whee! Give these a little rinse. Freshly washed. Take all our freshly washed raspberries and toss them in here. And we're just gonna puree these bad boys. Lovely. We're gonna take this puree, we're gonna strain out the seeds. Just gonna pour it directly over here. Get a spatula. So beautiful and vibrant. Glorious. You gotta strain this through your fine mesh sieve. Gotta get all those little raspberry seeds out. Get out of there. I guess if you really like the seeds and you wanted some crunch, you could keep them in. But we're trying to go for a smooth, velvety mousse today. Ooh, velvety. Sounded like I was doing a commercial. Smooth, velvety mousse. What's funny is I pictured somebody brushing an actual mousse instead of the dessert mousse. Smooth, velvety mousse. Brush it, brush the mousse. And smush, 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 smush. Push it through, push it through. Jeez, I think that's just about strained. Don't know how much more raspberry puree can get out of that. Just one more push through. See if I can save any more puree. I'll get as many of you out as I can. I promise. I won't let you down. Did you get any more out? Ooh, I got a lot more out. See, we saved more puree. Yay! Now that we have this lovely raspberry puree, set that to the side for a second. We are going to measure out 100 grams or a half a cup of sugar. We need a teaspoon of lemon juice, which is going to be a good squeeze of a lemon. Half a lemon. There we go. That's good. I'll throw this sugar in. And we're just going to give this a little stir. I like to whisk. Do you like to whisk? Huh? What are you into? You like whisking? I like whiskey and whisking. Hey, there it is. All right, so now that that is all mixed together, we're going to set that off to the side. And we're going to bloom our gelatin. Here we go. Now the exciting / scary part. We got more buzzsaws. Don't worry, there's still construction. Again, they would not let us down like that. I'm just gonna use my teaspoon here. Need a 1/4 cup of cold water, a 1.5 teaspoons of powdered gelatin. Just using my 1/2 teaspoon measurement because I don't know how much is in one of these packets. I'm trying to make it very accurate because with gelatin, if you do too much, then you get a very chewy, gummy texture of your jelly that you're making, and nobody likes that. I mean, maybe somebody likes that, but the general consensus is it's not great. So that was 1.5 teaspoons, and there's a little bit left in here, so there's probably 2 teaspoons per packet. That's just good to know for me. Let's just stir this into the water here. And just to let this sit about a minute, and then we're going to warm it up a little bit. So it's already doing stuff. It's already gelatining. There we go. Yeah. So we'll let this sit for 1 minute. How you guys doing? What you up to? It's been a minute. Let's turn this on. that mouth every time. It says to do it over low heat until the gelatin is completely dissolved. So that took about 4 minutes to dissolve completely. So I am going to switch hands because I'm right-handed. Don't burn yourself. Don't do it. Stir this in here. So now that our sugar, raspberry puree, and lemon and the gelatin are in here, we're going to stick this in the fridge to stiffen up, and then we'll turn it into some mousse. Into the fridge we go. Moving on to the cake. Woo! So the first thing that we're going to do for our cake is preheat the oven to 350 because it's fixed. Guess who's back? Back again. Oven's back. My best friend. It's back. It's fixed. I get to use it again. Although that was a fun detour learning how to bake things on the grill, and I will use that in the future. I'm so happy to have the oven back. It makes life easy. So the oven's back. We're preheating it to 350. And we have water boiling because we need 3 tablespoons of boiling water for the chocolate cake recipe. Before we started, I greased and lined a 9-inch springform pan. It does have to be a pan that has a removable bottom. It has to have a removable base to make this. If you don't have one, you can make it. You won't be able to serve it on something that's not inside the pan that you cooked it in. I got overexcited on my lining the sides. I cut it too tall, but that's okay. Having extra is better than not enough. You do want to line the full side of your pan as well. It says to grease and line the whole sides and the bottom of the pan, even though it's not going to fill the entire thing, just to be safe rather than sorry. We have to measure 25 grams, which is 1 ounce of cocoa powder. To me, that looks to be about 1/4 of a cup. Water's boiled. We're going to add that to our big bowl. And since I melted my sweet, cute little tablespoon measuring cup, we're going to measure these tablespoons in ounces. Got it on my fluid ounces setting, and I'm going to measure out 1.5 ounces because that would be 3 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons, 1 ounce, 3 tablespoons, 1.5 ounces. Ooh, that's too much. Went a little overboard. Perfect, 1.5. So that's 3 tablespoons of boiling water. We are going to mix this boiling water into the cocoa powder and make a paste. Ew! Trying to get it smooth. That looks amazing. All right, I have 100 grams of butter that I've just chopped up into cubes. I'm going to pop it in the microwave to soften it a little bit because I did not soften it prior. Rookie mistake. Just kidding, I had other things to do. I have a life. Softened. Let's get all that in there. We're going to add our 2 eggs. Just watching that shell rain down like a waterfall. Oh, and more. Wow, this egg is really moody. What's wrong, egg? You okay? Having a rough day? You're gonna be part of something tasty. It's gonna be good. Maybe I'll be gentler with this egg. Maybe they're just a sensitive bunch. Okay, that one was a little harder. Ooh, you're a rough and tumble egg, right? Yeah. Whoa, Nelly. Where to go? Mix it up. It says to use a hand mixer to mix this up. Got it softened better. I'm just gonna smash some things. Here we go. Scraping down those sides, getting the random little butter pieces in. Nice and creamy. Some of this butter's still not very incorporated, so I'm just gonna go through with my hand whisk. And I guess if you want, you could just melt the butter completely. Wouldn't really matter for this recipe. If you wanted to make sure it was all smooth before moving on to the next step, you just melt it. This is good now. Flinging chocolate everywhere. Next, we need 100 grams of sugar, 1/2 cup. Get that on in there. Then we need 100 grams of flour, which is 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons. It's not quite 3/4 of a cup. 100 grams of flour. Flour. Is it me if I don't say it like that? Flour. Specifically says level teaspoon. Those of you that do heaping things. Not in this recipe. Level. Put that in with the flour. I just like to stir. Alright, we'll add our flour in. Now we very carefully are going to do this. You know what? I'm going to be smart. I'm gonna get chocolate on my shirt. Yeah, babe. Roll these sleeves up. It's just a little chilly today. It's why to wear a sweatshirt. I'm gonna give this a little whisk together before we get it fully incorporated with the hand mixer. I just saw it happening. I was like, I'm gonna spray flour everywhere, all over the place, just like everywhere. I didn't want to do that. Scrape down these sides, get this flour in here a little bit, and then we'll get in there with the, maybe I don't need to. No, I should. It says to do it. Brilliant, beautiful. Ooh, now that's all smooth and beautiful. Okay, we're just gonna pour this into our prepared baking tin. I know it doesn't look like much, but remember you are topping this cake off with the mousse. So this is going to be a semi-thin cake. It won't be very thick. So just keep that in mind. Eject, come out, eject. There we go. I'm gonna smooth it out because it's thick, it's cake batter. Get it an even layer so you have an even cake. Even out, will you? Get over there, batter. Stop following me to this side. God, be independent. Stay on your side. Needy cake batter. All right, we're gonna pop this bad boy into the oven. That's working, that's fixed and it's working. 20 to 25 minutes. We're gonna check it after 20, see if it needs more time. Ta-da! It's done, it's baked, because the oven can bake now. It finished in 20 minutes, amazing. Oh, guys, I can't tell you how just weight off the shoulders it is to have your oven working again. You know, when you're doing a baking show, you need an oven to bake. Weird, weird. Now, one thing I haven't told you yet about this recipe is there's booze. Woohoo! Now, one of the things that I notice about the Great British Baking Show is they use a lot of booze, not just within the baking, but also to create more flavor post-bake. So they take a lot of cakes and they'll take some sort of booze and they'll put it on while it's still warm to soak in to the cake so that it doesn't cook off the alcohol, so you get a little boozy punch. And I'm using some Bailey's Irish cream. What? Oh my God. Yep. I just felt like that would be a really delicious marrying of the chocolate and the raspberry with this Irish cream, that vanilla-y kind of caramelly flavor. So we have 2 tablespoons of the Irish cream in here, and I'm just gonna take it on my little pastry brush. And while the cake is still warm, when you freshly take it out of the oven, you just brush it on top of the cake. Now I know you can't see this, but you're just moistening the cake. And you're gonna go over it multiple times. The first time that I made the chocolate mousse version of this cake, it called for brandy, and I did use the brandy. And I felt like I went over the top of the cake 4 or 5 times brushing in. So I'm just gonna go around the cake once. I start out at the edge and I brush towards the center. I think the edges of our cake generally bake a little bit faster than the center, so I like to put the liquid at the outer edges first. So I'm not putting quite as much liquid in the center where it tends to be a little softer, a little less baked than the outer edges. I did 1 whole pass around the cake. We still have a good amount left, so we are going to start back at the beginning. Careful when you're dabbing. Try to make sure it's the flat side of your brush. I also stabbed into my cake with this, and that's not pleasant. Don't stab, dab. Not much left here, so we're just going to go back around the edges of the cake. And that's all the 2 tablespoons, all just soaking into this cake. Our raspberry gelatin is almost done setting. It's got about 5 minutes, so I'm gonna set this off to the side to cool. And then we're gonna get that mousse whipped up. Yeah, whip it. Whip it good. The process for this is that we have to whip up this gelatinous mixture. So this has gelatinized jello-y mixture we've got. Oh, delicious. So, the instructions say to whip this up until it is foamy, and then you're going to slowly add in your cup of heavy cream. I made it easy on myself. Instead of measuring into a measuring cup, This is exactly 1 cup. It's 8 ounces. So once this gets nice and foamy, we're gonna slowly drizzle this in to whip the cream with the gelatin, and it'll make a mousse. But I know we haven't done any all episode, but this time we're gonna, I think this will be fun to do on a time lapse. It's gonna take a few minutes, so maybe it'll look really cool, maybe it won't. Either way, this is loud, so still doing a time lapse. Here we go. Well, that was fun, huh? I hope that was fun for you. It's fun for me. Got that gelatin nice and foamy. Drizzle that cream in. I'd say it looks pretty mousse-like. The cake's cooled. Nice and cool to the touch. We're just gonna pour this in here on top of the cake. Just shaking it, even it out. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, creamy, really tart from the raspberry, not overly sweet. I think that's gonna go so nicely with that deep, rich, chocolatey cake. With that hint of the Bailey's Irish cream to buffer it. Oh man, I think it's gonna be such a winner. Well, that's it. The final step for this is to actually just let this sit and set in the refrigerator for 4 hours, bare minimum, preferably overnight. We're just gonna do 4 hours because I am gonna drop this off later to true it. So we'll see you in 4 hours for the reveal. Hopefully it sets, hopefully I did it right, and hopefully you get that beautiful chocolate cake layer and then the beautiful mousse on top. We'll see you then. It's been 4 hours. The mousse has set. It looks amazing. I'm actually really excited to open this and show you guys, so this should be a really cool reveal. We're gonna pop this open. Go up. Oh God. Come on. This is why they do it on top of those high things. Ready? And we shall reveal the raspberry mousse that has set. I'm gonna peel this off. We did it! Some random cake that dribbled up the side there. That's fine. It's all good. It's set. It's gorgeous. It's my first time using gelatin and it worked. Woo! There we go. Now you can see how it's supposed to look minus this. I'm afraid to poke at it too much. But, oh, no. Just try a little bit of that. Oh. Ooh. Oh, it's nice and smooth and creamy. It's not too like gelatiny where it's like chewy and gross, and it's delish. So to finish our beautiful raspberry mousse chocolate cake, we're going to take these raspberries. I'm going to dab them a little bit more. They're still a little damp from the rinsing. I'm going to start in the center with this one raspberry here. And we're going to make like a little flower of raspberries around the thing. I kind of want to do around the edges here now. Cute little raspberries like that. Cute little raspberries all around the edge. Done. Woo! Yay. Ah. Oh, that looks so cute. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Finishing touches. I feel like, should I do this side, transitioning? Let's move. Probably should have done it from this way the whole time. I'm just gonna get a teaspoon of cocoa powder. I'm gonna drop that in our little tiny little seed. Powdered sugar as well. Toss that in there. And then we are just going to, yes. Oh! It's so pretty. I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm so happy. It's so gorgeous. Here's my top that I did, all pretty. Ooh, well, just don't pay attention to those pieces behind the curtain. Don't pay attention. Thank you so much for joining me for Allison Baked Your Day. I hope I baked your day. Let's see if I baked Druid's day.
My first bite was not recorded due to technical difficulties, so A chocolate cake. It's so good. Delicious.